Here we have quadratic simultaneous equations. So we've got two different equations. One of them is a quadratic, the other one is linear. And we're going to find out what x can be, and we're going to find out what y can be. We're going to do that by substitution. So in our second equation, our linear equation, it's already in the form y equals. So what we can do, y is already the subject, so we can take what y is equal to and substitute it in for y in our quadratic equation. And this is going to get rid of y, so we're going to have an equation just in terms of x, which we can solve. So let's do that. We're going to change this y into 3x plus 10. So we've got 3x plus 10 equals x squared plus 5x minus 5. So we've got a quadratic, and we solve quadratics by making them equal to 0. So let's take 3x away from both sides, which will give us 2x, and then take 10 away from both sides. So we've got x squared plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0. We can factorize this. The easiest way to solve quadratics is to factorize them. So let's put it into double brackets. X in both brackets, x times x makes x squared. And we're looking for what multiplies to make a negative 15 and adds to give us a 2. And that's going to be 5 and 3. So a positive 5 and a negative 3. They multiply to make negative 15 and add to make 2. So we can write down what x can be. So x can be either negative 5, that makes the first bracket 0, or positive 3, because that makes the second bracket 0. So we've found out two things that x can be, and there are also going to be two things that y can be. And y is equal to 3x plus 10. So now we're going to use our second equation, our linear equation, just because it's easier, to substitute in these two x values. So y is 3x plus 10. So if x is negative 5, 3 negative 5s plus 10. 3 negative 5s make negative 15. Plus 10 is negative 5. And if x is 3, y is 3 3s plus 10. So 9 plus 10, which is 19. So we've got two answers. Either x is 5 and x is negative 5 and y is negative 5, or the other option is x is 3 and y is 19. So they are our two answers. Okay, one for you to try. So give this one a go. We've got y equals x squared plus x plus 11 and y equals 10x minus 7. So our linear equation, y is the subject. We don't have to rearrange it. We can just say y is 10x minus 7. So we can substitute that into our quadratic to get rid of y. So that means that 10x minus 7 is equal to x squared plus x plus 11. Let's make it equal to 0. So take 10x away from both sides. So negative 7 is x squared minus 9x plus 11. And then plus 7 to both sides to make it equal to 0. So x squared minus 9x plus 18 is equal to 0. Again, we can factorize this. So what multiplies to make 18 and adds to make a negative 9? That would be negative 3 and negative 6. x can be 3 or x can be 6. How about y? Well, y is equal to 10x minus 7. So if y is 3, if x is 3, y will be 10 3's minus 7. 30 minus 7 is 23. And if x is 6, y is 10 6's minus 7. And 60 minus 7 is 53. So our answers are either x is 3 and y is 23, or x is 6 and y is 53. Okay, another simultaneous equation. This time, well, the first equation is a circle, but that doesn't make a difference. And the second equation is again a linear equation. It is not in the form either x equals or y equals. We need to make it in that form. We rearrange our second equation to make either y the subject or x the subject, so we can substitute it in. The easiest way to do it is going to be to take 2x away from both sides. So y will be 1 minus 2x. So now we can substitute 1 minus 2x in for y in our circle, in our top equation. So that will be x squared plus 1 minus 2x squared equals 34. 1 minus 2x squared means 1 minus 2x times 1 minus 2x. And we write that as double brackets. So 1 minus 2x times 1 minus 2x. And we can expand these brackets. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 2x is negative 2x. Negative 2x times 1 is again negative 2x. And negative 2x times negative 2x is going to be positive 4x squared. So let's collect our like terms. How many x squareds do we have? We've got 1x squared plus 4x squared, so 5x squareds. We've got negative 2x, take away another 2x, so negative 4x, and a plus 1. And that's equal to 34. We need to make it equal to 0 to solve it. So take 34 away from both sides. So we have 5x squared minus 4x minus 33 is equal to 0. So we've got a quadratic. This looks like a harder one to solve. So we don't know if this is going to factorize or whether we need to use the quadratic formula. I'm going to try and factorize it, but it wouldn't be wrong at this stage if we had a calculator to say, let's use the quadratic formula. So to check if it factorizes, I'm going to do a times c. So 5 times 33, which is 165. And I'm going to look at the factors of 165 and see if any of them add to give us a 4. So we can have, well, 1 times 165. It's not in the 2 times table. It's 3 55s. It's not in the 4s. It's 5 times 33. It's not in the 6s, or the 7s, or the 8s, or the 9s, or the 10s. It is in the 11s. It's 11 times 15. And 11 and 15 will give me a 4, so this will factorize. So I can have 5x in one bracket, x in the other. 5x times x makes 5x squared. And because I times 33 by 5 to get 165, I'm going to have to divide one of these numbers by 5. And to get negative 4, I'm going to use plus 11 and minus 15. And I want the 15 over the 5 because that will simplify. So I've got 5x plus 11 and x minus 3. So that means x. So what makes the first bracket 0? What would x have to be for 5x plus 11 to equal 0? It would be minus 11 over 5. And for the second bracket to be 0, x would be 3. So there are two x values, and we need to find our y values. Y was 1 minus 2x. So 1 minus 2 negative 11 fifths, or 1 minus 2 times 3. Minus 11 fifths, I'm going to write as a decimal. And if you double top and bottom, that would be 22 over 10. 22 over 10 is 2.2. So I'm going to rewrite it as negative 2.2. Negative 2 times negative 2.2 is 4.4. So 1 plus 4.4 is 5.4. And 1 minus 2 threes. 2 threes are 6. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. So what are my answers? So x is minus 11 fifths, or minus 2.2, and y is 5.4, or x is 3 and y is negative 5. Okay, one for you to try. So give this one a go. We need to make our second equation, our linear one, either x equals or y equals, and we can do that by plussing y to both sides. So we can say x is 6 plus y, or y plus 6. And let's substitute that in for x this time. So in the top equation, I'm going to change x into 6 plus y. So that will be 6 plus y squared plus y squared equals 20. 6 plus y squared means 6 plus y times 6 plus y. And I'll expand that bracket. So 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times y is 6y. Y times 6 is also 6y. And y times y is y squared. And I've still got the other y squared, and it's equal to 20. So collecting like terms, how many y squareds do we have? We've got 2 y squareds. We have 6y plus 6y, so 12y plus 36 equals 20. We need to make it equal to 0, so take 20 away from both sides. So 2y squared plus 12y plus 16 equals 0. And you can see all of our terms are actually in the 2 times table. So we can divide everything by 2. So y squared plus 6y plus 8 equals 0. And this factorizes so what multiplies to make 8 and adds to make 6? That's 2 and 4. So y is negative 2 or y is negative 4. How about x? X is 6 plus y. So 6 plus minus 2 is the same as 6 minus 2. So 4. And 6 plus minus 4 is the same as 6 minus 4, which is 2. So our answers, so either y is negative 2 and x is 4, or y is negative 4 and x is 2. And another one. So we have x squared plus 4y squared equals 85, and y equals x plus 4. So our second equation, our linear one, already has y as the subject, so we can substitute straight in. So we're going to change y into x plus 4, which will give us x squared plus 4 times x plus 4 squared equals 85. So we've got x squared plus 4 times these double brackets, x plus 4 times x plus 4 equals 85. So you can think of this as 4 times this entire expansion. So we're going to expand these brackets and then multiply everything by 4. So I'm going to keep a bracket there, and I'm going to expand these brackets. So x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, 4 times x is 4x, and 4 4s are 16. And I'm going to simplify that by collecting like terms. 4x plus 4x is 8x. So now I've expanded the brackets. I'm going to multiply each of the terms in the bracket, in our now one bracket, by 4. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 8x is 32x. And 4 16s are 64. So let's collect our like terms. X squared plus 4x squared is 5x squared. So we've got 5x squared plus 32x plus 64 equals 85. And we need to make it equal to 0. So let's take 85 away from both sides. So we've got 5x squared plus 32x minus 21 equals 0. So does this factorize? Again, I don't know. And to check, I can do a times c. 5 21s are 105. And what multiplies to make 105? 105. It's not in the 2 times table. It's 3 35s. And that will give us a 32. So we can have 5x in one bracket, x in the other bracket. 5x times x makes 5x squared. And we're going to use 3 and 35. But because we multiplied by 5, let's divide 1 by 5. And we're going to have a negative 3 and a plus 35, which means we've got 5x minus 3 and x plus 7. So that means x can be, to make the first bracket 0, 3/5. And to make the second bracket 0, that's negative 7. And y is x plus 4. So 3/5 is 0.6. So 0.6 plus 4 is 4.6. Or y is negative 7 plus 4, which is negative 3. So our answers are either x is 0.6, y is 4.6, or x is negative 7 and y is negative 3. And another one for you to try. So give this one a go. So we are going to make the second equation, the linear one, equal to y. So make y the subject, and we can do that by plussing 2x to both sides. So y is 3 plus 2x. And we can substitute that into our top equation, our quadratic. So that will be 3 plus 2x equals 5x squared plus 34x minus 18. We're going to solve it by making it equal to 0. So take 2x away from both sides, which gives us 32x, and take 3 away from both sides, which gives us negative 21. And that is the exact same quadratic we had previously. So that will factorize into 5x minus 3 and x plus 7. So we can say x is equal to 3/5 or 0.6, and x is equal to negative 7. And y is 3 plus 2x. So y is equal to 3 plus 2 0.6s. 2 0.6s make 1.2. 3 plus 1.2 is 4.2. And y equals 3 plus 2 negative 7s. 2 negative 7s are negative 14. 3 minus 14 is negative 11. So either x is 0.6 and y is 4.2, or x is negative 7 and y is negative 11. And one more example. Again, we're going to change our linear equation, our second equation here, into either the form x equals or y equals. Either make x the subject or y the subject. It doesn't matter which way we do it. I'll make x the subject. So I'm going to take 3y away from both sides. So 2x is 1 minus 3y. And then half everything. Divide everything by 2. So x equals 1 minus 3y over 2. So now I can substitute this in for x in our top equation. So we've got 1 minus 3y over 2 squared minus 2y squared equals 8. So squared means multiplied by itself. So we're going to have 1 minus 3y over 2 times 1 minus 3y over 2 minus 2y squared equals 8. So how can I expand these brackets? I can either just put it over 4. So when we expand, when we multiply fractions, we multiply the top and we multiply the bottom. So I'm going to leave it as a fraction all over 4. 2 times 2 makes 4. What I could have also done is changed it to half minus 3 over 2y times half minus 3 over 2y. Divided each of the terms by 2 individually, and then expanded the brackets. I think this way might be easier. So times the bottom and times the top. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 3y is minus 3y. And minus 3y times 1 is minus 3y. And a negative times a negative is a positive. And 3y times 3y is 9y squared. So I want to get rid of this 4 on the bottom of the fraction, and I'm going to do that by multiplying everything by 4. So I can have 1 minus, well, I may as well collect the like terms. Negative 3y minus 3y is negative 6y. So I'm multiplying everything by 4. So if I multiply this by 4, I get rid of the divide by 4. I'm going to multiply 2y squared by 4, which becomes 8y squared. And 8 times 4 is 32. Now let's collect like terms. 9y take away 8y is 1y squared. 1y squared. We've got minus 6y plus 1 equals 32. Take 32 away from both sides. So we've got y squared minus 6y minus 31 equals 0. So this is not going to factorize. Nothing is going to multiply to make 31 and add to make 6. So we are going to use the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula says that x, or y in this case, so y is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And in this question, a will be 1. We've got 1y squared. B is going to be negative 6. We've got negative 6y's. And c will be negative 31. So we're going to substitute in. A is going to be 1, B is negative 6, and C is negative 31. So it's going to be negative minus negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 31 all over 2 1s. So we're going to put this in twice, once for a plus and once for a minus, to get our 2y answers. So we have minus negative 6 plus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 31 all over 2 1s. So we have 9.32. So our first y answer is 9.32. And I'm going to save that in the calculator. So I'm going to store it as a, because I'm going to use that in a minute to find x. So I'm going to use the whole number. And then I'm going to go back in and change my plus to a minus to get my second answer. And that is negative 3.32. Negative 3.32. And I'm going to keep the answer in the calculator. X is 1 minus 3y over 2. So x is going to be 1 minus 3 negative 3.32s over 2. So this is my answer at the moment. So 1 minus 3 times answer over 2. And that is 5.49. So x is 5.49. That answer goes with the negative 3.32. And for my other answer, I stored it as a. And that is negative 13.49. So x is negative 13.49. So I've got my two answers. Y is 9.32. X is negative 13.49. Or y is negative 3.32. And x is 5.49. Okay, one for you to try. So give this one a go. So we need to make our second equation, our linear equation, either x equals or y equals. So it doesn't matter how we do it. If we plus 2y to both sides, and then divide by 3, we've got 4 plus 2y over 3. So that's x. We can substitute that into our top equation. So we've got 3 times this squared plus y squared equals 9. Squared means multiplied by itself. So we're going to change this into double brackets. And we're going to expand them. We're going to treat them like fractions. So we're going to times the top and times the bottom. So we'll have 3 around the big bracket. So this whole expansion is multiplied by 3. And the bottom is 3 times 3, which is 9. So we're going to have 9 on the bottom. Let's expand it. 4 4s are 16. 4 times 2y is 8y. 2y times 4 is 8y. And 2y times 2y is 4y squared. So we're going to expand it by, we're going to multiply it by 3. Or we could even say this 9 and 3 can cancel. So it's over 3 instead. So timesing by 3 and dividing by 9 is the same as dividing by 3. So we have 16 plus 16y plus 4y squared over 3 plus y squared equals 9. To get rid of the over 3, let's multiply everything by 3. So we've got 16 plus 16y plus 4y squared, and then multiplying these terms by 3, so plus 3y squared equals 27. It's a quadratic. We'll collect like terms first, so 4y squared plus 3y squared makes 7y squareds. We've got plus 16y plus 16 equals 27. And let's make it equal to 0 by taking 27 away from both sides. So we've got 7y squared plus 16y minus 11 equals 0. To solve this, we are going to use the quadratic formula. So A will be 7, B 16, and C negative 11. So let's substitute into the quadratic formula. So y will be equal to minus b, so minus 16, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 16 squared, minus 4 times a times c, so 4 times 7 times negative 11, all over 2 7s. So let's type that into the calculator. So we have minus 16 plus the square root of 16 squared minus 4 times 7 times negative 11 all over 2 7s. So that's 0.55 to 2 decimal places. I'm going to store that as A. So y is 0.55, or if we change the plus to a minus, we get negative 2.84. And x is 4 plus 2y over 3. So x is 4 plus 2 0.55s over 3, or x is 4 plus 2 negative 2.84s over 3. So 4 plus 2 times our last answer over 3 is negative 0.56 to 2 decimal places. And we stored our other answer as A. So that is 1.70 to 2 decimal places. So we have x is 1.70 and y is 0.55, or x is negative 0.56 and y is negative 2.84.